Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As man, oh man, do I have a lot to discuss with you today. We're approaching a critical moment for Ripple and XRP adoption. And I think if you're not paying attention over the next couple weeks, you're gonna miss some life-changing opportunities. But first and foremost, before I continue, I have a quick message to give all of you. A common critique that I've received from not only clients, but some members of the XRP community is, bull, I know you're a long-term investor, but me, I'm looking for some short-term trades and some passive income opportunities. Personally speaking, for those of you that are relatively new, or those of you that don't know, I am 100% a long-term investor who is open to swing trading when the opportunities arrive. That is my investing strategy and my trading strategy, because I want my life to consist of numerous things outside of just staring at computer screens and charts all day. However, there is a huge demand of people that are looking to make some active and passive income using crypto as a vehicle. And something I've been doing over the past year is getting my resources and network in order to best provide all of you with the most amount of value possible. So in order to cater to the portion of my audience that is looking to make some active and passive income day trading crypto, I've conducted a massive hour-and-a-half long interview with a prominent XRP community member on how to make consistent, realistic gains day trading. And that interview is posted on my OnlyFans down in the description below, as I hope every single one of you enjoy it. And for my mentees, it is posted on the university already. I hope every single one of you enjoys it. And now let's get into the content for the day. First of all, I thought this quote from XRP Jenna was powerful. Altcoins will make you rich, not Bitcoin. That ship has sailed. It's a store of value. I do believe it's digital gold. And I do believe the ROI, return on investment on Bitcoin, is limited relative to some smaller cap cryptos and relative to XRP especially. That is why I am an altcoin investor, with the strategy of using my altcoin profits to then profit take into my larger cap cryptos and diversify into businesses and other asset classes. This is my game winning strategy. And a lot of you that follow me every single day have this game plan as well. Stay the course, my friends. And I do believe we will be rewarded. And not only will we be rewarded, but we need to do this in order to protect ourselves from what's coming in the world next. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but the world seems to be falling apart by the seams. Explosions everywhere, UFOs, wars breaking out, tensions geopolitically rising. Opportunities for retail and the average citizen are going down the drain. Crypto is not just making money for me. It is my lifeboat out of slavery for when the new system comes online. And here, I have an important quote of what I'm trying to protect myself against.
So just as I come to a close, unfortunately, I think this is just the beginning. So I've learned when people tell you what they're going to do, don't ignore them. So when the UN and Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab tell you that they've got a UN 2030 plan with sustainable development goals, I think there are 17 or 21 of them, and every one of them says you won't be traveling, you won't have a private car, we won't be using international shipping to move goods around, there won't be any flights except military or perhaps very rich people, you won't own anything and you'll be happy, you probably won't live in your own house, you'll be using much less energy for everything, including heating, manufactured goods, and so on. When they tell you that, you should assume that they're serious about it. And so I think COVID has been part one of a multi-act play that's going to take 10 years that will destroy the liberal democracies completely. We've already, if you think living in a democracy, now ask yourself who you could vote for that would change this, because I don't think there's anyone you can vote for anywhere that is guaranteed things. So I don't have an answer, but I'm telling you, I think we're sliding down through the gates of hell. I'm speaking out. There's nothing in it for me. I've lost lots of money, all my friends. I'm away from my home and family. And I'm speaking out because I am absolutely sure what I've told you is substantially true.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a habit amongst people I try to warn of calling me a conspiracy theorist for things that end up becoming our reality. During the health crisis, that's what I was called. When I was calling for blackouts and black swan events. Back in 2019 and 2020, no one believed me. Now everyone's warning about cyber attacks. I just showed you a visual on the screen about Lebanon and their banking crisis they're currently going through right now. In Argentina, they're having massive inflation. Their currency is being obliterated by the seams. In Nigeria, people are rising up against the central banks after they declared old currency notes no longer legal tender. Turkey just had a massive devastating earthquake as their entire nation was having 70 to 80% inflation as well. There are a number of different tragic events happening in the world today, and I genuinely believe we have to remember what happened in Cyprus in order to prevent ourselves from getting caught in the middle of the transition from the old system into the new one. The World Economic Forum and the elites have told us their plan, but people want to dismiss it as conspiracy. When we've done the research, have video evidence of them talking about these conversations in conferences, and are beginning to see the onslaught of tragedies and catastrophes hitting the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, the banking system always needs a good crisis to be revolutionized for the citizens to accept whatever nonsense they want for us. You think it's a coincidence AI is coming to the world just as central bank digital currencies and potential bank bail-ins are about to come into the world? See, AI, surveillance, that's how they're going to have their social credit score system in place so they can deduct points from your social credit score so that your CBDC on your digital wallet on your phone that tracks you everywhere you go won't be able to work. So you could be a nice, compliant citizen that always says the right things and never deviates from the mean. You'll have to be an NPC in order to live in the world they want. But in order to live in the world that we want, we have to understand what their plan is and use tools they've allowed us to use to break away from their system. I believe ultimately XRP will be part of the central bank digital currency infrastructure that'll be the bridge currency to bring interoperability between all CBDCs, potentially tokenized gold, tokenized real estate, tokenized stocks, tokenized commodities, derivatives, insurance, everything. But in the meantime, we're battling the biggest legal issue happening in the crypto industry right now. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the right side of history because we've always understood the end game. The XRP army has always understood the end game. Remember the comparison I made for all of you. Michael Burry was right about the 2008 housing crisis back in 2005, but Michael Burry suffered a lot because his timing was really incorrect. I feel like that's what the XRP army's been going through over the past 5 years. We got sued by the SEC just as our price action and bull run was about to take place. Perfect timing to destroy retail sentiment. But now, because we're on the right side of the law, we're about to have the moment where all the time we've spent waiting will be justified. And ladies and gentlemen, if you still don't believe Ripple and XRP are on the right side of the law, please watch this clip of John Deaton on the Patrick Bet-David podcast showing how much the SEC needs to redact in order to prevent a revolt by retail investors. Please take a listen.
is, did you know that 63 emails went out with that draft speech that gave Ether a free pass? Do you know who was the only commissioner to get a draft version of it?
Who's that?
Jay Clayton. Did you know Crypto Mom herself, Hester Peirce, never saw it? How do you draft this?
Why would Clayton even be involved in that draft? Why would he even?
He gave input. He's the only commissioner. Bill Hinman was deposed. Ripple was successful in getting him deposed. Of course, they redact everything to the public. And I have it here if you want to see it. The lawyers ask him, did you ever represent...
How much is redacted?
Ethereum, 90%.
Can I see? This goes to Pat. You were telling a story a couple weeks back about you were at Harvard and you said that there was a guy who was having trouble.
So just find a congressman, pay him $500,000.
That was it.
He's going through an election and he'll help you put up a law to hurt them.
This is it?
Yeah.
In action.
He's asked questions like, have you ever worked for Ethereum Foundation? Look at the answers.
Look at the redactions.
All right, and this isn't the whole. This isn't.
Look at this.
This isn't the whole lawsuit.
Dude, are you kidding me? Right? This is insane.
Now, why would they redact, Pat, if he's asked a question, have you ever had clients that are part of the Ethereum Foundation? If I represent you and your business, I can't talk about what we talk about.
So is this public record?
No, it was an exhibit that's public record.
Can we show this? Or
oh, yes, you can show it.
So,
absolutely.
So, I don't know if people can see this, but
and it's pages of that.
This is an entire page of every single word on the page redacted, and there's pages of it.
This is your transparent Securities Exchange Commission.
Holy moly.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, isn't that so interesting? John Deaton's absolutely correct to look at how transparent the SEC is when they have to redact 99% of the words on every single page from that Bill Hinman deposition. See, guys, government corruption has been the #1 problem in the crypto industry, and a lack of accountability for these regulators is what's holding us back. Kraken CEO and Custodia CEO Caitlin Long stated that regulators ignored their warnings about scams and fraud. Caitlin Long especially was calling out FTX for a long time, calling out a lot of these different exchange practices for a long time. And now Gary, who ignored these warnings and actually embraced the scammers, are trying to use this as an example to tighten things up in the crypto market, to bring the hammer down on the crypto market, when all of these political elites were in bed with the scammers. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what's so frustrating. Out of the $45 million donations FTX Sam Bankman-Fried made, only 2.2% of that are being returned by politicians. Wow. It's always been one of those things that has truly irked me about the space. The collusion between big government, private agendas against the crypto industry has gone too far. But the thing is, this is never going to stop. And if anything, the new system is going to perpetuate that even more. Ladies and gentlemen, a massive problem with Ripple and XRP has been found. And it's the fact that they are in bed with the governments and central banks. It's the fact that I think they are going to play a pivotal role in CBDC adoption. But when it comes to the regulatory front, the issue they faced was that they dared to come after the correspondent banking system by giving power away from the few big banks and to the smaller and medium-sized banks as well, to create a global level playing field by reducing friction in payments and the cost in which these payments are made. Ladies and gentlemen, the problem with Ripple and XRP is that XRP works too damn well. So the regulators, had to throw quicksand in XRP's path to try and make alternatives, to see if they can replace XRP, because they do need XRP. They failed. they couldn't make their own. And now as this lawsuit is coming to an end, the banks are going to be forced to adapt or die. No in between. XRP is the end game. And our future is cemented in history. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. To cap off this video for today, I'm going to leave you with Michael Arrington, founder of TechCrunch, letting all of you know how powerful Ripple and XRP are and why it works so well. XRP still to this day has no real competition that can do exactly what it does. And it's spelled out for you by one of the most successful men on the planet. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Like, yeah, people, the tribalism in this industry is insane. So there's Bitcoin maximalists, but everybody agrees, like, you know, XRP sucks. And I don't really get it, right? I mean, they're a legitimate company. They don't pretend to be something they're not. And they're really good at one thing, moving money fast and cheap. And it's fantastic. It fills a big need. And for a hedge fund like us to be able to denominate in Ripple and XRP, I just did the same thing, is really, really, really good. We did our first close. We moved north of $50 million into the company in Ripple and XRP in like 2 seconds, and it cost 30 cents. Now, that is amazing. There's no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. There's just no way to do it that fast and that cheaply. And so it serves a really useful need for us. And then also when our LPs eventually redeem, hopefully never, but when they want some of the money back, we just send it in XRP again. And there's no 3-day wait for international wires or 1-day wait for US wires. We're not paying wire fees and all that. It's just, I don't understand why that's hard to understand. And so the religious wars aside, the tribalism aside, it does some things really well. And we love it for that.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.